Virgo, usually I pull some cards, I sit with the energy, I let the messages come through, but I felt guided to turn on the camera right away because there's something kind of funky happening in this energy. And I feel like I could use your support and your help right now in trying to decode this and see what's going on. And so when I turn on the camera, I feel like we connect if you choose, only if you choose. So I asked what your supportive energy was, and I got the card Libra. And this deck has many, many symbols, not just astrological signs. So I got Libra for your support, and for your challenge, I got Gemini, which I find very fascinating because of how big the deck is, and to get two air signs like this is interesting. And then I was thinking, well, that's odd because I do associate you with like earth and air because you're very mercurial in nature. You're very brilliant. You use your mind a lot, and you're also a mutable sign. So you have flexibility in your thinking. So I was thinking, well, where's the earth element? Why am I being given two air elements? And then the theme of your reading comes out earth. And I promise we'll get to the message, but I got to connect these dots. And I channeled earlier for you fire element being important. So I was like, okay, I got earth, air, fire, we're missing the water. And I look at the bottom of the deck and it's water. So what is going on, Virgo? There's something about elemental magic, elemental work, working with the 4 cardinal directions, working with all aspects of your chart. I'm seeing a chart being split up into different quadrants. This is important. That you acknowledge how each element is unfolding and working in your life. So the elements can represent many different things, but just briefly and kind of loosely, water represents love, intuition, emotion, creativity. Fire is spirit, drive, will, ambition, passion. Could also be rage and anger. Water could also be illusion if we want to look at the lower form of its manifestation. Air is, I'm hearing claircognizance, okay, claircognizance, clairvoyance, okay, so spirits coming in here are associating air with the clairs, so psychic ability, psychic intuition, but not feeling, I'm hearing. Thinking, and something about using your will through thought. Memory as well is what I'm getting. Earth is about the body, it's about manifestation, it's about materialization, actualization, connection, and oneness, sentient oneness, okay? So, I don't know. This is important. It's coming through. So I'll tell you the rest of the messages I got, and then we'll pull more cards and figure it out. Number 17 is interesting too, because that's the star card. And the star card is about healing, and it is representative of Aquarius. And we have Libra, Gemini, and then the 17th card would be represent Aquarius. So there's something going on with the air elements in your chart. And before you tell me, I don't have any air in my chart. Every part of our chart, so the first house, second house, third house, fourth house, all the way to 12, is ruled by one of the zodiac signs. All of them, all 12 signs are in your chart. So you do have air in your chart, even if you don't have a planet in your chart, okay? So for example, my 9th house is ruled by Gemini. So there could be something like that Spirit wants you to pay attention to or would be useful for you. But I wrote down fire element, and it feels like this is a time for you to take action. And Gemini showing up as your challenge in a detrimental position for you talks about the need to make a choice, taking decisive action. There's a decisive moment coming up in which you need to call on that intuitive nudge you have, power that you have, and act without vacillating and oscillating and hemming and hawing, because it's not going to serve you for whatever reason here. We'll try to figure out what that is. Libra showing up in your supportive position is about balance, clarity, and truth being illuminated. And so this is the energy that's backing you, supporting you. So you do know the truth. You do, which is why Spirit's saying, don't be challenged by making a decision. You know the truth. Okay? Now, Gemini is also a dual sign, meaning it can have how do I say that? Obvious conflicts when it comes to its polarities. So this can manifest as someone being two-faced, for example, or seeing two sides of something, or one person says something to your face, and then they say it. One person says something to your face, and I was going to say, and the other person says it behind your back. I don't know what that's referring to. Okay, so there's something going on here where you might not be seeing the full picture, but Spirit is saying you can feel the truth, okay, or you know the truth, so don't overthink it. Take action. And this is something related to the 3D material world, like grounded action. It's like when you take action, something solidifies here for you. Now, the messages I got here was, the first thing I got was there's a wise woman. It could be you being the wise woman, or someone you know. If you're not a woman, or, you know, maybe even if you are, there's another wise woman. And then I got the question, will you hear her? It's almost as if like you're not really going to listen to her advice, or if this is you, you're not really paying attention to what you're saying to yourself. Something about archaeology coming up here. Maybe something's being excavated metaphorically for you. Something's coming up to the surface, being illuminated. Then I got the animal woodpecker, or the bird woodpecker. And a woodpecker, I associate with winter. I mean, you might have a different association, but I've come across many woodpeckers while walking in the woods, in the cold, in the snow, and you can hear them so clearly because everything is so still and quiet in the winter. So it feels like you're going to hear something, or Spirit's calling your attention to something, and it might sound, I just felt guided to do that, like a little bit of a knock. Or something tapping. I don't think this is literal. I think this is almost like the woodpecker tapping on the tree as if the tree was a gateway. Oh, this is interesting. I'm getting the image of water moving in the tree. The water is at the bottom of the deck. It's hidden in the earth. Okay, so the emotions in a situation, or the intentions, or maybe there's some illusions here. They're being hidden within the situation that you're thinking about. This is a kind of really intuitive reading. So if this isn't your jam, then that's okay. It's just not your reading. But I'm probably going to be winding and curving around some different symbols as I go through this reading. Something about symbolism and mythology is important as well. Something is going to be a late development, or it already is a late development, but it's just as significant. And I got something needed time to know what was missing before it could be found. So it's like something was created, or something was known about something, but that now there's a new development, or there will be a new development, but it comes later. And it's like time had to pass before you, or maybe someone else, realized something more needs to come into the picture, something more needs to be created or said or revealed. Then I got Ragnarok. So maybe you're doing something with Norse mythology and Odin. So you could look at that story of Ragnarok if you're interested. Something about Odin energy coming to an end. And so that could be you coming out of a period of deep thinking, of gaining a new perspective on a situation. Maybe you're pulling the Hangman card or the Hermit card quite a bit. Then lastly, I got Ursula, the name Ursula. And I thought of the Sea Witch. And when I wrote down Sea Witch, I first spelled sea as S-E-E rather than S-E-A. So there's something about a clairvoyant sea witch. I don't know, guys. Maybe this is your intuition. Okay, I'm going to leave this here, and let's keep going into your energy and see what else comes through. I actually want to pull some charms here. Let's see, for Virgo. Numbers 2 and 75. We have a crown, the letter S, some hearts. I'm hearing stolen. Gemini again. Maybe you're dealing with a Gemini and it's bringing you a little difficulty. We have the symbol of Taurus, which would be earth. We have J, U, and P. Okay. I'm going to pull a couple more and then we'll get in. The letter N, the letter J, and Aquarius symbol. Something might come to light during Aquarius season, which is February, January, February. And this is a development here. It will bring you lots of clarity and help restore balance. There could be something legal going on as well. And there's many different sides of the story or different stories people are telling. Ooh, that tastes a little bitter. Somebody's bitter, perhaps? Let's see. Virgo. Tell me more about the energy supporting Virgo. Book. The wise woman. You're well read. This could be literally well read. So know that, and know that you've retained a lot of teachings. There's also something about the Akashic records here. Doing something by the book will also be helpful for you. If you need to find out more about a situation, turning to some well-established knowledge might help you. Maybe this is a book on mythology or a book on symbolism or a book on how to do XYZ, whatever it is that you're doing. The letter W could be important. Let's get one more. 1982. Let's see, for Virgo. The Hag, the wise woman. Yeah, okay, exactly. And she also kind of looks like a sea witch to me. Number 3. Maybe 1985 as well. 1983. If these don't resonate, don't worry. I just feel very guided to call out things I'm noticing. And when that happens, it's usually like I'm not totally going to make sense of everything. These are just clues and synchronicities for you to know the reading's yours or to pick up on, to remember, to follow. Might not make sense now, but later on today or tomorrow, something could remind you of something that was said now. I'm seeing a bat. Her face kind of looks like a bat. Seeing a necklace as well. There's a wise woman. Will you listen to her? That's your supportive energy. Okay, let's see more about the challenge with Gemini. How do you say this? Oracle? No. This word. Someone spell it out phonetically to me in the comments. You Virgos. Well, it's about seeing. It's about seeing. It's about psychic abilities. And Saturn. Okay, this is going to drive me crazy. Let's see. Hold on, guys. Maybe somebody doesn't know how to say something to you, or they're not as knowledgeable as you. Okay, can you pronounce it though? Yeah, I know what it is. One second. Orbiculum. Did you hear that? This is part of your message. Oh, interesting. So I said this is part of your message, and I turned it up so that you could hear it, and now it won't play anymore. So there's something that can be seen. Maybe it's an orb. But no, there's something psychically that can be seen. But it's almost like when you go to look closer at it, it's restricted with Saturn. There's some kind of restricted access maybe. Now the music won't play. What an interesting energy. One second, guys. What is happening? Maybe this is your experience with something. It's like everything's a little bit wonky. There we go. Patience, though, Virgo. Persistence and patience. It's okay to take the time to get back into some kind of flow. Number 7, to get back into the flow with something. So take that as a metaphor here. But, okay, so something can be seen, but it's being restricted, or someone's trying to restrict your sight. Someone's trying to restrict your sight on what can be seen about something. They're maybe telling you something else. They're having trouble saying something as well, like I was. It's almost like they're telling you a story that they don't know. Or maybe they're lying. Or somebody's told them what to say. And they're parroting it without knowing, really. Okay, there's something like that going on. Number 58 and 43. Tell me more about the earth. Tell me more about the earth for the theme. What are we looking at here? Hod, Sephiroth. Let me see. Yeah, there's all this book stuff going on and finding out new knowledge, finding out what things are. That is important for your energy. The base, the foot of the left pillar, the 8th sphere of the tree of life. You are being asked to approach your situation through reasoned deduction and response. Okay, deduction. So start taking away insignificant details from a situation, emotional kind of stuff. Remove that. Libra energy. Look at the hard, cold facts about something or the true knowledge about something and take away the emotional stuff that could be clouding a situation, restricting your sight on something. It allows truth to be discovered by seeing through deception caused by too much emotion. Exactly. Okay. Don't be angered. You must look at the situation from all logical standpoints. Are you allowing too much emotion into your decisions? Is that clouding your judgment? Uncover the truth of all things by eliminating all deceptions, including self-deceptions. Okay, so what's going on here, Virgo? There's a tricky energy here that's trying to deceive. Now, this could literally be somebody, and you know who I'm talking about. Or if you don't, perhaps there's a situation you've been trying to kind of work through and you're finding that you're blocked and there's something that you need to look at more clearly, more logically, less emotionally, so that you can see your own truth that maybe has been obscured by too many stories or too many what ifs, too much indecision that you've had around something. Maybe it's that, maybe it's this, get rid of that. Trust your gut, trust your truth. Ground yourself as well. And remove all the emotional distractions. Listen to the wise hag. Maybe it's me. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. It's you. It's actually you. And regardless as if this shows up it's all of us really. But anyway, if this shows up as another person, they're a mirror of you and your own wisdom, your own wise woman that lives within. Okay, listen to her. She doesn't get caught up in emotional reasoning. There's a time and a place for emotion, water. But it's underneath the deck. It's in the tree. Don't get distracted by what could be inside of a story or inside of a situation. Look at what's right in front of you, the tree, the earth. Okay. Let's get into the cards. Wow, already 20 minutes. Virgo. Whoa, I'm seeing, I'm going to reshuffle, but I don't want to ignore these. Death, the Lovers, what's this? And Temperance. There's an end of some kind of contract, or there's a very important decision. And you do need balance, the Hermit. You do need to weigh the logic of something, the logic against emotion. Okay. For Virgo spirit. Two more. There's jealousy as well. Or maybe it's not jealousy. What is it? Somebody has a particular picture of you, a vision of you that's kind of idealized, okay? They're seeing you through rose-tinted glasses and maybe thinking that your life is much easier than it has been, or they see you, they're putting you on some kind of pedestal, but it doesn't feel like it's admiration. It's almost like somebody's idolizing you or painting a very certain picture of you to justify their actions. Like, oh, Virgo knows so many people, so it doesn't matter if I remove this opportunity for them. Oh, Virgo's so beautiful, so, I don't know. There's something like that going on. They're not seeing your full self. You have many dimensions to you, and you've been through things in your life. And this person doesn't want to know that or doesn't want to see that because it helps them justify their actions, or their deception doesn't make sense to themselves if they see you multidimensionally. Is that making sense? Okay, these two cards want to stay back, so let's see, what are they? Ten of Cups and the Emperor. That's what I was seeing, is the Ten of Cups. It's like they see you as living in the energy of the Ten of Cups, long-term joy and happiness. And maybe you do, and that's awesome if you do. But even if you do, you worked hard to get there, or you're working towards that. There's self-mastery that you've moved towards. It hasn't been easy. You've had to stake your claim in a certain space as well, even with yourself. Hold on. Something about 24 days. Someone could also feel as if you have like an ace in your pocket, or another person, or some connection that you're going to bring forward. Yeah, it's like they're nervous that you have, I'm hearing game changer, like you have some evidence, or you have some knowledge, or you have something you're going to do, or connection, or something's going to happen here where it changes the whole game that maybe they're playing, or they're worried about that. There's some anxiety around you having an emperor that you're hiding, somebody who can come in and support you or back you up. I don't know what this is. Okay, let's see, Virgo. Ooh, what's going on with you? Do not see yourself through this person's eyes. Okay, and you could be like, no, I'm not, Andy. Okay, great. But are you sure? Because sometimes that can happen subconsciously, right? When we're in conflict with someone or we're having an issue, especially if you're empathic or very intuitive, we can absorb, I'm getting, or take on another person's perspective, which can be a huge strength to see through someone else's eyes. But it feels like you might be critical of yourself at this time, looking at you or looking at your situation through their perspective. You have to remember there's some deception over here. There's some deception. Okay, and this could be the self-deception that you are seeing yourself through this person's eyes. Because your advice here is the Four of Cups. And look how she's holding up the mirror. And in the mirror, she looks sad. Well, she looks sad either way, but she doesn't look how she actually looks. Her reflection is different. And it's like someone's trying to convince you that you are a certain way, or you're somehow getting sucked into that, potentially. It's like, remember who you are. The wise woman. Regardless of if you're, whatever your gender is. You have that wise oracle within you. And the Four of Cups is a card about rejecting, refusing something, saying no. And I feel like this is not to get sucked, Spirit saying don't get sucked into somebody's emotional ploys or pleas, to try to convince you of something. Now, your overall energy is the Nine of Swords. And I do feel like you're picking up someone else's energy. This is fascinating. Okay, tell me more about the Nine of Swords. We have the Hand and Frog. You could have given someone a hand or a chance with something. And it didn't turn out the way that you thought it would, coin in reverse. The opportunity wasn't what you thought it was. Or when I see frog, I'm thinking about like kissing a frog. Frog is also a symbol of rebirth. So there could be some kind of action that you need to take in regards to this situation that is part of your rebirth. Whatever this is about, the outcome is in your hand. And maybe that is what is bringing you anxiety, is that you're the one who has to make a choice and the decision, and you don't want to make the wrong decision. You want to have a positive outcome, a positive rebirth. But sometimes moving to our highest timeline, ascending, healing, growing, whatever you want to say, requires doing the hard thing. Pushing ourselves out of our comfort zone to grow. Because I feel intuitively that you don't have anything to fear. Like, in reality, there's nothing for you to fear, even if you're feeling that way. And that's not to disregard your feeling of fear. It is telling you something. But because there's been clear messages here about deception, I feel like taking away the emotion of fear will allow you to see the truth clearly. Some of you could be having disturbing nightmares or dreams or like even visions or fantasies. And you could feel like they're prophetic and they're going to lead to some kind of doomsday outcome. It's not that, okay? That's emotion. Those dreams are emotionally based, not, what do I say? They're not what? Three of Swords. Yeah, they're coming from pain and fear of pain, rather than some truth that you're picking up on. Okay, you take that or not. So what you don't see coming, the 7 of staffs, the 7 of wands, this is you standing your ground, defending yourself, getting a higher ground. Yeah, getting a higher perspective, fire element, like willpower. So what you don't see coming is that you're going to get a higher perspective, but you have to take action to do it. Harp. Interesting. What are you hearing? Give me one more with the harp for what Virgo doesn't see coming. Ribbon. Some of you are going to get a higher perspective on a situation, and you're going to see some way that you or maybe someone else has been trying to wrap things up nicely, neatly, put a bow on it, make it look presentable or make it look sweet, or, you know, I don't know. It's like somebody's playing a harp and there's a bow on this kind of like harsh truth. It's like someone's trying to soften a blow to themselves, and you're going to see what they're trying to do to protect themselves or to save themselves from you calling out the truth or from you standing your ground. It's kind of like a moment of confrontation, and I'm not saying you're going to confront someone, but this is what I'm picking up. It's like you have the drive and the will to do something, to say something, so you go ahead, and it's like you're expecting this person to meet you with equal force, maybe to engage in some kind of conflict or something like that. But they show up with the complete opposite energy. They show up maybe being innocent or soft-spoken, and I feel like it's deceptive. I feel like it's a little bit of a manipulation because it makes you look like you're overreacting. What's going on? Virgo, we haven't had a reading like this for you in a while, but hey, people happen in our lives, right? So the opportunity in all of this is great. The opportunity is the 9 of Cups. And this is a card of having your wishes fulfilled, having abundance. And it looks very Virgoan to me, this image. So tell me about this. The broom, the coin in reverse, and the bell. I feel like you're not going to let somebody get away with something, fly off on their broom, okay? Or sweep it under the rug. Some loss here or something that wasn't what it seemed it was going to be. It's like you're going to ring the bell on it. I need more info for the opportunity. Page of Coins. Something could be returned to you. And then we have 10 of Swords. And you could also learn the truth about somebody's intentions or character, or the extent in which something has potential or doesn't have potential. But this is a relief for you, ultimately. It might sound like it's going to disappoint you, but truly what your soul is wishing for is clarity. Your soul is wishing for you to listen to your inner wise woman and to be in karmic balance, to see the truth, to have justice for yourself, to get out of the 9 of Swords. That's what your soul is wishing and hoping for. So there might be some kind of disappointment in the ego realm or in the 3D material realm where you lose something or something's returned to you, but then you find out who someone really is, that kind of thing. But on a deeper level, your soul is like rejoicing because how truth and clarity manifests in this situation is by your hand and by standing up for yourself. by not letting someone get away with something. But Spirit, before I go further, what action does Virgo need to take here? Ace of Swords. Oh, this is like revealing a truth. This is speaking your mind, thinking clearly, offering information to someone. Okay? There's an opportunity here for you to say something, offer more information, clear something up, speak the truth. Knight of Cups for the challenge. I feel like this could be you trying to soften something for someone. Octopus, maybe bend and maneuver in a way that is beneficial for them. Perhaps you don't want to hurt somebody here. The Girl in reverse. This is, if that's the case for you, this is coming from like an inner child. This isn't the wise woman in you speaking. This is coming from an inner child wound where maybe when you stood up for yourself or when you spoke the truth in the past, you called out something that was not just, an injustice in your life, you were reprimanded or not believed. So you learned how to maneuver like this octopus. You learned how to like do things in different ways to appease people or to make nice with people or to resolve conflict. And there's something about that. If you do that, well, what happens? If Virgo does that, what happens? Page of Cups. And then we have Justice. Well, it kind of sets you back because you're beyond that. You're not at the page level. And maybe that's the Emperor that this person's worried about. They know you're an Emperor. They know that you have that inside of you. And so if you kind of like try to maneuver around this situation so not to ruffle feathers or whatever it is for you, it just puts you back into this energy of being a page, which is so far from your truth. The child, right? The child energy. Okay, Four of Cups for your advice. Rejection, not falling into an emotional trap. Don't see yourself through someone else's eyes. We have House and Moth. Interesting. Something about a closet. I'm thinking about mothballs here. In a closet, which came through in another reading. I don't remember for who. A moth in the house. It's a big omen. I've had that. A big white moth at night on my window. It was all black because it was night, and there was this big white moth there. It was interesting. So you might receive a sign or a synchronicity or something peculiar like that. Take it as a message, okay? And then go investigate what that animal or insect or whatever it is, whatever you come across kind of weirdly and serendipitously, look into what that means. Now, the moth is about rebirth. It's also associated with psychic abilities, transformation. Did I say that? There's something changing, perhaps in your home or in your house. If you're about to buy a new house or move into a new apartment or whatever you're doing where you live and something feels sketchy and off, you need to make sure you clarify here something that is unclear to you. Check the fine print, ask the questions, maybe hire a wise woman here because there's something that you need to see. And you could potentially say no to this once you do see what is being hidden here. Okay, that's very specific. There's also someone who may come to your house or who comes to your house frequently, maybe to clean out mothballs, you know, or maybe they are a friend or something like that. They visit or they want to visit, and the advice here with the Four of Cups is no. Is to not have them at this time, okay? You always make your own decision. So Knight of Coins for what's going to manifest in the next 3 months. This is slow moving strategy. This is the what did I get? The late development, but it's just as significant. It needed time to know. And now I didn't have you, but I just started with needed time. You needed time. They needed time. Something needed time to know what was missing before it could be found. That's what this is. So in the next 3 months, there's going to be a development here that's going to show you something or reveal something, or there's a necessary key piece of information that's going to come about. But I don't necessarily feel like Spirit is saying, wait for this to happen before you take action. Let's see. Let's make sure. Let's clarify. Because it seems like Spirit keeps saying, take an action. Let's just get one with the Knight of Coins for Virgos. Okay, 2. Temperance. Well, that is wait and death. Well, but that's also, if you wait too long, it could be a no-go then. Patriarch with the Hierophant. I feel like you might want some outside advice, yes, with the Sun from somebody, or to look to see what other people have done in this situation or with this kind of dynamic. There could be information and answers there. Temperance, death. There's definitely a suggestion to temper any distracting emotions. Something needs to be released that you're holding on to in relation to this, something that keeps you making an emotional decision, or your perspective on everything is coming from some girl in reverse wounds, some childhood wounds. Okay? And I feel like there's steps involved here, and you're going to take the correct steps with this kind of patient energy, this by the book kind of energy. All right, Virgo, I'm going to go into an extended reading. In the extended, we go a layer deeper into this message. We see what else comes through. I'm super curious. If you're interested in that, link is in the description box below. If you can't go to that, or you don't want to for whatever reason, then just trust that Spirit gave you exactly what you needed to know right here, right now. I love you so much. I'll see you next time.